So someone wants to, or Nick wants to turn an object into 3D. I'm going to use, I think I'll be able to get away with this image. That image. I'm going to use Photoshop to create a 3D mock-up of that I can put into After Effects. So if I go to Filter Vanishing Point, and I'm recording this as well, so I'll put this on Blackboard after. Vanishing Point lets me draw faces on an object in 3D. So I've defined that face. I'm going to define another one. I think I can also grab edges and drag them out, but in this case it hasn't got the perspective correct. So I'm just going to draw this one in. And so I've got that face and that face. Now I can click OK. Essentially that tool is primarily about, primarily about editing things in Photoshop. So I can now clone this section onto this surface. That's what this tool is about. That is remarkably aligned.
It's kind of bonkers.
But what we can also do is go up to this little menu here and say Export for After Effects, a VPE file, a Vanishing Point export. So I'm going to save that. I'll just save it on my desktop in a folder and call it Laptop. And then for some reason it's not letting me click OK, so I'm going to click Cancel and go to After Effects. Now I will go to File, Import, Vanishing Point. And I'll find that export, and what I'll see is it's a Vanishing Point file plus a 3D file plus 2 PNGs. I'm not sure how much it uses the 3D file. I think that may be new to After Effects' 3D capabilities. But all we're going to get is 2 flat images. So all the one camera was found. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let's open up that file. And we've got a 3D file with some things laid out. Now, they're not laid out perfectly, but essentially what we've got is one 3D object and another 3D object. And it's actually stuffed up how they're laid out a lot. But essentially what it's done is it's looked at that file and it said, okay, I'm going to turn what is a perspective laptop, I'll turn each of the faces into a flat image. And so that means we can use that to set things up. I'm going to set it up from scratch because it's screwed up this layout. And I will put that image in, and I'll put this image in, and I'll rotate this one like that. So I've almost built the laptop now. Now all I need to do is turn these into 3D. Oops, I did that in the top view, but so here they're aligned. Turn these into 3D, and then move the anchor point of whichever one I want to be able to rotate to the join at which it should rotate around. So now, and let's turn this view into perspective. Custom, so we can see it in 3D. Now, I can rotate this top one so that the laptop folds in on itself. I'll parent the top one to the bottom one so that I can rotate the bottom one as well, however I want to rotate it. and I can rotate the top one, and I can now control it in 3D. So it's still flat, but I've given it a few faces to do something interesting. Now this particular top face, I want the back of it to look different. So I'm just going to duplicate the back of it. I'll call that screen back. I'll call that screen front. And I'll call that keyboard. And screen back, I'm just going to move slightly backward. So there's a slight gap in it. I'll move this whole thing forward so we can see it a bit better. And on screen back, I'll just put an effect, maybe tint or solid color, I think. Fill, and I'll fill it with grey. And I'll parent the back to the front, so when I rotate the front, from one side I see the front, and from the other side I see the back. And that's because it's two layers. You can see there that they're just two layers sitting very close together. But most of the time you won't notice, especially if you animate it fast.
That's kind of cool.
And that's it.